I've tried everything I can to finally fall asleep. I've tried changing my diet, sleeping pills, habits before bed, exercise, a new bed, but nothing works. I wish this was just another fun poem that I type up just to get a few scares. I wish I could stop seeing shadow people, the rake and little something or others that scurry away in my peripheral vision. The problem is I didn't see these things until a head injury a few years back. I'm not sure if it'll ever get better, but I thought at least I'd get it out somewhere. 5 years ago, I suffered a concussion. I wasn't treated for it, and now I'm suffering the consequences. I thought for now I'd just tell you a bit about the shadow people and divulge more as time allows. The witching hour is usually when I wake up. I can usually get back to sleep later for a bit, but something always seems to wake me up at night, and a lot of times it's a shadow person. Sometimes they'll be at the foot of my bed clawing at my blankets, trying to get me. Sometimes I'll wake up and see them staring at me from the corner of my room. The worst is when I get up out of bed and see one of them standing over my daughter. My wife doesn't like our daughter sleeping in the same room as us, but at least then I can easily check to make sure she's safe. I'm sure most people wouldn't take such things so lightly, but when it seems like the paranormal is constantly bothering you, you get used to it. The worst time dealing with a shadow person was one night when I woke up feeling like something was very off. I tried raising my arm, but I was frozen in place. I tried speaking out, but my mouth couldn't move. I could only move my eyes. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have looked at the doorway. It was standing just outside the room, peeking at me. It was maybe around 6 feet tall, had no real facial features, and just emitted a slight sound of static, like a TV. It ducked its head coming into the room, making me think it was an intruder, and I decided the best course of action would be to pretend to be asleep. I just heard the static get closer and louder. I held my eyes shut and hoped it would end. After a few minutes, it died down completely. I decided to peek, and the shadow person was gone. I have some issues with vertigo, and my legs will also occasionally give out, making me just drop to the floor. After an hour of memes to calm myself down, I figured I would use the bathroom and try to go back to sleep. After coming out of the bathroom, everything started spinning and I collapsed. I just laid there in hopes I could get the feeling back in my legs. Unfortunately, that's when I heard the static come back. The shadow person crept from the corner of the living room on all fours as if to really sell the terror factor as it moved towards me. The static grew so loud that I could barely hear my own screaming. It reached out to cover my mouth, muffling my screams. Soon I could see was darkness. I couldn't breathe. The next thing I knew, I had woken up. It was 7 a.m. The shadow person was gone. I wasn't sure why it spared me that night, but every time since, it becomes more clear that it's waiting